Hey, Plant Pals, Mike the Kitty Gardener, and today is an update to my hashtag WIG 2023, the Winter Indoor Gardening collaboration with me and GT Junior Grows Alaska. I just thought I'd update on some of the things I'm growing inside. I'm still working on a lot of things, but I'd give you a look at what's been growing. This is in my wife's office, this is the Celosia, the red stem, which is got this beautiful purple hue to it. And you see how full it is. See, I thought when I looked it up, it was supposed to be just like a stem flower, like almost like a tulip. But as you can see, it's really branched out. So, yeah. So I can probably take a couple of these out. These ones down here are kind of being, these are the babies, and they're being blocked. The light's being blocked. So I'll move these out and let these ones grow. So yeah, I'm very pleased with that. That's my first attempt at. I've started flowers inside, but this is my first attempt at growing flowers inside. So I'm looking forward to hopefully soon getting some kind of flower parts to it other than the leaves. Although this is just beautiful to look at. I mean, look at that. You're sitting in your office and it's a gloomy below zero Minnesota day, and you get this to look at. Cheers, yeah. All right, I'll be back. Okay, up next is my beautiful purple lady bok choy, and I've been snacking eating the outer leaves, and I think it's time where I'm going to, these are pretty big, so I think it's time to where I can go ahead and get this out of the way here. I'm gonna go ahead and just harvest them and make a couple dishes out of them, and then start something else in here. Probably a pepper. Everybody knows me. I'm into growing the peppers, so I might grow a pepper uh, to enjoy watching. But this was a fun experiment to see if I could grow bok choy, and it was quite a success. So I'm very pleased with that. Right here is my little harvest system, and not much is happening here because I'm growing, peppers, and they can sometimes take a while to germinate. But I did have one early riser in the back here. This is the brown jalapeno. So far we got one, which is pretty exciting. Next to that is my bounty system. And again, same thing, because it's, peppers can take up to 30 days to germinate. But again, I do have one early riser here. And this is my lipstick pepper, which is a delicious pepper. It's not hot at all. So I grow some things that aren't hot. And then this one's really showing off. This is the Violet Sparkle. It's a purple pepper. And not only do I have this one showed up early, I've got two in here, so I'm going to have to take one out. Nothing happening here, but I got one here. So out of the four pods, I've got four plants, but three of them germinated. And you can see this ring of schmutz here. That's from the cups. So what I like to do is I like to use these little plastic shot glass cups. Let me grab one here. So this is oops. Oh, my baby. This is just a little 3-ounce plastic shot glass cup that you can get in any box store or online. And what I do is I just like to set them like that, and then that way it gives the plants a chance to get their, because some of the AeroGarden domes are pretty high, but some of the domes are very low, so you just barely get a germination before they start touching it, and then you don't want the plant to touch the moisture. You want it to be in a moist environment. But yeah, so that's what I like to use now instead of using the smaller domes. Gives the plants a chance to grow up a little bit taller, and it seems to really work well. It gives it enough of a moist environment without killing the seeds, making the seeds go moldy or whatever. So it's really cool. But one thing you can do is if you have this, is just get a little, you can either scratch it off with your nail or you can get a little bit of hydrogen peroxide on a paper towel and it'll come right up. All right, so this is my experimental shelf. And right here is my micro jalapenos. And you can see again, I've got a really good germination rate. And they came up pretty quick. So I've got to thin this one out. I'll probably move it to a different system. I'm not going to waste it because I really enjoy these jalapenos. It's a pretty prolific plant. I get probably 40 or 50 jalapenos off of this little plant that's about a foot tall. Next to that is this is a Venus micro dwarf tomato. And again, so 2 of them are up strong. One of them probably is a dud. I'll just move that one out. And what I'll do is I'll just probably either, for now, while they're still small, I'll just move one in the back, put a cover in the middle, and then so they'll have room, and then eventually I'll probably just go down to just putting one in the center and seeing how big it gets. I've had the Venus grew before where I had one that was like super tiny, about like 4 inches tall, and then I had another one in another system where it got really tall. It went all over the place, but I loved it. It was a really good, delicious tomato. And then next to that, this is a micro tom. Again, the same thing. I've got extra one here I'm going to pull out and probably move a couple to different system. So I might do like a side-by-side comparison. So I might take the 1 or 2 of these tomatoes and put them into one system. So I'll have 4 tomatoes, microdwarf tomatoes, growing in one system to see how they do compared to growing in the little sprout and unit. But as you can see here, this red light's blinking. That's telling me that it's been 12 days and it's ready for more nutrition. So I'm going to get on that after I end the video. See, got some more seeds out here. I'm very disorganized right now because I'm redoing everything in my man cave. So I don't have as much stuff going as I would like. But I do have some things going, and I do have the lights on and stuff, so that's, you know, cheering me up in the cold sub-zero Minnesota weather. Last night it was a -6. Now it's a balmy 12, I think. So it's supposed to get up to the 30s this week, so I'm very excited for that. All right, so this is that's my Growing with Hudson sticker. So these are they're just called baby tomatoes, microdwarf tomatoes. I got them from a guy who he just kind of, I think he borrowed some seeds and things from like different companies like AeroGarden, and then just kind of named them his own name. So these are up and doing good. This right here is a Vilma microdwarf tomato. So this one I think is a dud, but these 2 are up. And then next to that, I've got some opal basil. You can see, got success there. Got to thin some of those out when they get a little bit bigger. But basils, they don't really mind being together. If you have 2 of them together, it's kind of fine. But if you want a thick, robust plant, thin them out. And these are all cracky. There's no bubbles. The only electricity is the light above it that I have attached to this rack. So you can, you know, either have a system like this where the water's this doesn't have a bubbler, but the water is moving, or you can have a still system like this where it's just holding the nutrition, or you can do what I sometimes like to do is over here I've got a hybrid. So I've got a fish tank air stone going to help out the AeroGarden's pump, and it really works well. You don't have to do it. It's just nice to have the options. And the final thing for today is I've got my rack system here, and these are the extra Purple Lady bok choys that I thinned out of my other system, and I put them in this deep water culture tub. And I might grow some other things next to it to see, and then harvest these when they get to size. We'll see. Haven't decided yet. But yeah, very pleased with these. Quite delicious. I might try growing some sort of lettuce or something in here, or maybe some peppers. We'll see. And above that is my Georgia Candy Roaster squash. So it had 2 other huge leaves, but it went through a transplant shock because I waited too long to move it to my tote system that I built. Like you can catch the video on that. Like I said, I've been very busy. I still haven't had a chance to move the light, or swap the light out, and so it's way up here. So in order to give my squash proper lighting, the benefit of this rack system is I just clipped an extra light to the pole here, and I can have the lights closer to my squash. And so it, even though it went through transplant shock, and the one big leaf that was covering half the tub here wasn't dead, but as a good gardener said, you don't want the plant to concentrate on healing dead leaves. You want it to concentrate on growing and producing food for you. So I cut the bad leaf off, and there's 2 bad leaves. I cut those off, and so now look how fast I've already got. This leaf here has been like a day, and it's already huge. And then we've got, because since I did that, it's really started to put on growth, and it's starting to wrap around the wire, and this thing can climb and wind around all at once. It's got tons of room here to grow, and I've got these wires here so that it can cling onto and grow as big as it likes, and it should hopefully produce some full-size squash for me. I'm going to have to hand pollinate them, and that will be a future video. So yeah, I'm very excited, and if nothing else, I can eat the leaves. They're very beneficial, and it's, again, it cheers me up to see this bright, beautiful, vibrant green in dark, cold Minnesota winter. So I've got light and growth inside my house, and that's what the whole point of the winter indoor gardening collaboration is that a lot of us will kind of just, once our fall garden is done, we're kind of sitting around depressed and not growing anything. And if I want to have fresh food in my Minnesota Zone 4, I've got to grow inside. And so that's what I'm doing. And I'm just trying to show that you don't have to grow just lettuces and tomatoes and maybe some peppers, but you can branch out and grow all sorts of things. You can grow food, like Georgia Candy Roaster squash or bok choy. Lots of fun. All right, any comments, questions, leave in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. Have an awesome day.